Hello, my name is Nicola Green, and on this week's show I have an amazing lady with me. Her name is Lisa Clifford, and Lisa calls herself the Transformational Coach. Hi Lisa.
Hello.
Welcome to KLTV.
Thank you for having me.
So the first thing I want to ask you is, what got you into this kind of work?
For years I worked for hotel groups and I worked my way up from the bottom and to do sales. And I love doing sales, but I felt like my life was in somebody else's hands when I could have holidays and I was making all this money for another company. And I read a book, it was called The 10-Minute Life Coach by Fiona Harold. And I did the exercises in the book, and one of the questions was, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? So I got myself a big bottle of wine and a big glass and a big piece of paper and a pen, and really just explored what would I do. And it was things like I'd be a motivational speaker, I'd write a book, I'd help people be living their dreams in their life. I would help companies grow. And I didn't even know what coaching was then. This was 15 years ago. And a friend said to me, that sounds a lot like coaching. So I explored it and I trained with the Coaching Academy. And then I would run workshops with people, and we'd be sitting down and we'd be making notes about what sorts of goals did you want to set. And I'd look at people and think, they look the same at the end, a little bit happier and a little bit more motivated, but what's going to help them actually live with those dreams, those goals in their life? What's going to create that shift? And a little voice in my head said, you could be a firewalking instructor. And another one said, don't be ridiculous, you're not tall enough. Right. That's a man's world. And then I just thought to myself, well, I could just investigate it. And so I trained with Peggy Dillon, who brought firewalking into the westernised culture. She's in California. In my opinion, the best in the world. And I now help people have the transformation within themselves that help them see their own incredible potential. Because only once they see their own incredible potential can they think, yeah, I'm gonna go for that thing that I've always dreamt of and that I've always wanted.
With Christmas over and everybody's kind of setting goals and, you know, wanting to lose weight, do you feel goals work?
Usually around about this time of the year, mid-February, people have done their New Year's resolutions, set their goals, and by this point they're either well on the way or discarded them. And probably about 75% have been discarded because of the way that they've been set. And they tend to be things that they have to do. And I prefer to set a theme for the year, such as deep nourishment or adventure or joy or friendship. And then those kind of, they could be perceived as goals, but those kind of ways of experiencing life become actually more sustainable and more enjoyable than the harshness of a goal.
So wording it differently and it kind of takes that pressure off. There's that sense of taking
it becomes
pressure
something
off.
that you actually want to do rather than a head thing. A goal tends to be a head thing. A life experience tends to be a heart thing. And I think that when we listen to our heart, the whispers of our heart, I love to call it, when we listen to that, it guides us beautifully into the things that are meant for us, that we enjoy. When we listen to our head, we're often listening to or noticing what somebody else is doing and feeling like, oh, I should be doing that, they're doing that. Or looking at our weaknesses and thinking, oh, I should be doing something to make those into strengths. And when we come from the head, it tends to be quite a harsh way of living. When we follow the heart, like what are we naturally fascinated in? What sort of programs do we watch on the telly? What sort of conversations do we have with our friends? What sort of things do we find ourselves being intrigued by? When we follow that, the scent of that leads us beautifully into what brings us joy.
Yeah. And how does fire walking help with that?
In my particular fire walks, I help people with the question, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? What would you love to experience in your life? And then I help people visualize what that would look like. So when you then use the mind to imagine, to visualize, it shows you. Your mind never shows you something you can't do or have or be or experience. And when you start to see it and feel it and touch it within your mind, you become connected to it. And then the coals, the fire coals that you walk over, become part of the journey of manifesting your heart's desires. So as you walk over the coals, of which is something that you think, oh, I can't do that, I'll get burnt. Naturally, you know, it's a really natural thought, because we're told as kids, don't touch the fire, you'll burn yourself, don't touch that, it's hot. So when people stand at the foot of the fire with something that they'd love to experience in their life, whether it's a family, whether it's a holiday, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a new job, setting up their own business, when they hold that in their heart and they've visualised it in such a way that they feel like they've experienced it, and they hold that and they walk over the coals, the fire works in conjunction energetically with empowering that thought, that feeling, that sense. And if you walk over the coals without any purpose, and you just walk over,
so you're pushing against your natural instinct, aren't you, really?
So if you hold that thought, that feeling, and walk over the coals, you have a magical experience. Your feet feel great, you feel amazing, you've just experienced something that has expanded your feeling about your potential. If you drop that and walk over the coals and just do the action, then you will burn your feet. And what I love about that experience is same coals, same feet, same action, one holding purpose and intention and one without, and you get two completely different results in terms of how your feet feel.
So what's transformation for you then? What does that word mean for you?
Transformation, well, what it means for me in terms of what I see in other people is when they shift a feeling or a thought that's been holding them back, a belief that they have about themselves or about life or what they expect of themselves, when they shift that feeling, that thought, and really you have to do something different within your body and your system to do that, then it frees them. It frees people so that they step into more possibilities of what life means for them. So they live a life path that is designed for them, by them. That's what transformation means for me.
So what can you leave our viewers today? If you would leave one leaving message, what would that be?
Yeah, it has to be listen to your heart. And listen to what your heart wants. Notice what you're drawn towards and explore that. And if you find yourself being concerned about what somebody else is doing and then being brought into that space of, oh, I should be doing something similar, let go of that. That is their goal, not yours. And then just really, really listen. What feels good for me? And then imagine what it'd be like if you were experiencing that, and then see how you feel then. But really connecting to your heart.
Oh, thank you so much, Lisa.
It's been
so
a pleasure
inspiring talking to you today.
Thank you.
All right, so thank you for watching today. Thank you for watching KLTV on the Weekly Wind-Up. My name's Nicola Green. If you'd like any information about this or any other show, you can contact us through the usual means on Facebook or on YouTube. But thank you for joining me today.
Thank you.